All right, everybody, welcome back. We got more edge guys to cruise on through here, and we're getting down to like the sixth and seventh round types. So we're definitely sifting through looking for something special here, but we may have something special right here off the bat with this first guy. It's Myles Cole. And first of all, right off the rip, you're like, oh, this guy might not be an edge in the NFL, but let's discuss this one. Texas Tech University, 24, 6'6", so he's tall, 278, so he's not really an edge in terms of his size. That's pretty clearly like a 4-eye. That's clearly like a 5 tech or an undersized 3 tech more so than an edge rusher. Almost 37-inch arms. 37-inch arms. I've never seen 37-inch arms in the draft process before. Almost 10-inch hands also, which seems insignificant compared to these arms. So that alone makes him intriguing. The testing, by the way, compared to edge players was good, right? 4.67 40 for an edge rusher is really good. For an interior defensive lineman, it would be stellar. 1.65 10-yard split is underwhelming for an edge, but for an interior guy, oh yes. The vert, the broad. So this guy is a fantastic athlete for his size. So this should be, sparking things in your brain. You should be intrigued right now by Myles Cole. Now, PFF and CBS have him undrafted. ESPN has him in the 4th. That's how wide the range of takes are here. He's barely top 200 on the database. He's like right around the 6th round. Only has 1 year of real production, 32 tackles, 6.5 for loss, 3.5 sacks. It's not big numbers. It's not a great performance. So he's not yet there as a player, but the physical profile is popping. So let's talk about it. He's got a massive wingspan. He's a giant dude. He's got experience on that Texas Tech defense lining up all over the place. He lines up on the edge. He lines up inside. Lines up as a 4-eye, a 3 tech, a 5 tech, all over the place. So he's probably going to find some success at some position. Maybe not all of them, but some of them. Really good athlete for his size. He's got a legitimate first step, which makes me wonder if maybe he's one of these guys who is heavier but can play some snaps at edge and get away with it. Kind of like, again, I keep using the example Dre'Mont Jones. Dre'Mont Jones is a guy who can play on the edge some. We tried to do it too much last year when Uchenna got hurt, and we paid for it. But Dre'Mont can play on the edge a little bit. He's got active hands to stack blockers as well. He's good at stacking blockers, and, he's got the long arms to do it. And despite being 6'6", I think he understands leverage. He gets low. He goes out of his way to be the low man in leverage, despite being 6'6", so he can win those battles. Now, the production is not there. 2023 was probably his best season, and it wasn't that good. Even when he was before he transferred into Texas Tech, he wasn't really doing that much. He's not that strong. He doesn't have the kind of strength you're looking for, especially if he's going to slide inside. He's going to get pushed around a little bit in the run game. He's rather limited in the pass rush move department. He depends heavily on his athleticism to rule the day. I'm still worried about his height. 6'6" is a problem potentially. You don't want to be that tall. You're going to have to work really hard to overcome being 6'6". And with guys like this, you always have to wonder, is he going to be a tweener? Is he going to be stuck between edge and IDL and not be able to find the right slot? Is it possible? But he's really interesting, great mix of talent and ability. I think that his best bet is to add some strength so he can just play a 4-eye or 5 tech role permanently, or a 3 tech even, because he's got the frame for it. He's tall, so he can add muscle, and it's not going to be a problem. So I imagine he moves to the inside in the NFL, but that's going to be a process. So I got to go 5th round pick here. I don't think I can do the 4th round pick because I'm not sure if the move will work. I'm not sure if this guy's going to have a position, but great athlete, incredibly long arms, worth something for sure. Now we've got Grayson Murphy, UCLA, and yes, UCLA has 2 edge rushers in this class with very similar names. I got confused too. So I'm not talking about the same guy twice. It's just very similar named. 6'2", 251, 30 and a quarter inch arms. So the arms are really, really short. Right off the bat, there's trouble. 9.5 inch hands. PFF says 5th round. ESPN has 7th. Database has 7th. So he's right in there around that barely draftable territory. 2 decent years for UCLA. We're talking about like 58 tackles, 18 for loss, 10 sacks, 3 passes defensed, a couple forced fumbles, and pretty good PFF grades. So nothing over the top. Obviously, he's behind a lot of really good guys at UCLA. He's behind Latu and the other Grayson. But still, decent production. He's got a good, strong frame, stout, sturdy. He's got great closing speed. He puts the finishing touches on plays really well, closes really nicely. His ability to kick into an extra gear to finish the play is pretty dang impressive in my estimation. Always giving high effort out there, always giving it his all, high motor, sets edge against the run well, holds up against offensive linemen trying to bully him to clear the way for the run, and he makes a lot of second effort and third effort type plays. Initially, he'll get stymied, and then he'll find a way on second or third effort to get through. So, good stuff here. But he doesn't have bend. He doesn't have pass rusher bend. It's just like he needs to find another way to win because he can't bend the corner around the offensive tackle. His hands aren't that great. He's not very skilled using his hands yet. That can come, but it's not there right now. He only has a couple of good pass rush moves. He does have a couple, I will say that, but he doesn't have a wide range of them, and he can't shed blocks because his arms are so short. And the short arms kill him in other areas too. It makes it harder to tackle, makes it harder to keep offensive linemen from getting into your chest and dominating the rep. So he's got some uphill battle stuff here. So I think he'll be a pretty good early down defender, somebody who can play against the run, because he is pretty stout against the run and he's got a nice strong frame. I don't know about him in a 3-4 defense. I think he needs to throw on some weight and try to play like a 5 tech. I think he needs to get a little bit bigger and use his skills stuffing the run to play 5 tech in a 4-3 defense. That's my best guess. I would say 7th rounder. Not that interested. The arm length is just an absolute killer. I don't know if he can survive that. That's going to be tough to get around. Okay, so one more guy for this video. We got Xavier Thomas. Xavier Thomas of Clemson, 24, 6'2", 244, 32 and 7/8 arms, 9 and 1/8 hands. Pretty okay combine. The 40 time was really good. Broad jump was good. Bench press was good. The vert and the 10-yard split were a little underwhelming, but overall the testing was pretty good. Big boards, we got 4th round, we got 6th round, and the aggregate puts him in about the 6th. So another guy who's going to just be happy to be drafted. Doesn't have big production these last couple years. In fact, 2022, he barely did anything. So I went back to 2021 because that was actually a much better year for him. So if you look at his 2 most recent years of impact, it's 46 tackles, 10.5 for loss, 7.5 sacks, 3 passes defensed, 3 forced fumbles, and pretty good PFF grades. Nothing remarkable. Feels like Clemson produces a lot of edge players like this where they're just like okay, and you feel like they're going to belong in the NFL, but it's hard to give them a ton of credit beyond that. So Xavier Thomas, the thing that really stands out about him is how quick he is out of his stance. His first step is tough to keep up with. So he's going to win based off that. And he's actually got some pass rush moves. He can do the rip through. He can do the swim. He can do the cross chop. He can do stuff to offensive linemen to win on technical merit. He doesn't just win with his first step quickness. He wins because he is able to outmaneuver his man with a legitimate move. He uses his hands well. Hand fighting is good with him. Hand placement's good with him. He can hold up on the edge against the run. He's not somebody who's going to get completely bullied out of the play when he's trying to set the edge. He shoots gaps nicely to make plays in the backfield as well. Got the ability to squeeze in through gaps to make plays. He can get stuck on blockers a little bit, and he doesn't shed them all that well. So once a guy gets latched on, it's tough for him to win the rep. His anchor against run blocking can be a little bit weak. Like if he's trying to actually anchor down against a pulling guard or something, he's probably going to get pushed back. And his bull rush is not really going to strike fear into anybody, right? So he's got some issues, but I think he'll be a really good 3-4 edge rusher. He can come on as a passing down option and provide nice pressure because he's got the good first step and he's got good pass rush moves. He'll just be like, a relief pitcher almost, trying to close out the third down and long. I don't think he'll ever be much more than that, but there is plenty of value in that. These guys, I know there are a lot of them, but if you can find a good one, a good pass rusher who can come in off the bench to spell your starter, it's worth something. So I'd spend a 5th round pick on him. I'd say he's worth about a 5th round pick. So I like Xavier Thomas a pretty decent amount. And that's all I got for this video, guys. Let me know what you think down below. We got one more edge video to do, and then we are done. Ready to go for this draft, ready to eat, ready to see what's up. I will be seeing you guys in just a little bit. Go Hawks. Let me hear it down below.